Listen, honey child, I know that it's hard to find somebody to talk to when you're going through. I know it's hard to find somebody to listen without judgment. And sometimes when you're in a dark place, you need sound spiritual advice to help you on your journey. My name is Cherie Stern, and I'm qualified because I care.
Hello, hello, hello. All right, y'all. I'm not even gonna really do no intro. I'm just gonna start talking because I don't even know if this reading is gonna make it anywhere past my my application that I'm using to record on. So, I was just in this energy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was just in this energy because I listen to tarot, okay? And being a reader, being a new reader, I got to be myself. I got to be me. I got to be my true, authentic self. I got to, say what it is. And that way, going forward, we won't have no misunderstandings, okay? So, like I said, I mean, I've been into tarot for a while. I grew up in the church or whatever the case may be. And, it just has always been considered something that's taboo. So, in addition to, that part of my life, then there's this other, you know, not even other truth, just part of being a lesbian, being in the LGBT community, because that is my focus. These are my people. These are the people that I speak to. These are the people that I resonate with. And, being a guide, being a mentor, being a coach, being a counselor, giving advice, then, you know, one of the biggest things that I've been, scrutinized and criticized for on, is, just I guess I don't know, like, who is this trying to call me? Please stop. Anyway, just being my true authentic self. I got to put it out there because I have to put it out there, not just, not for validation or anything like that, but because my people, the people that I do minister to, they need to be able to know, that I'm like keeping it straight up, no chaser, no filter, because that's the kind of person that I present myself to be. And not only that, is that I do want to, be associated, you know, with the LGBT community, with who I am, with the lesbian, black with lesbian. Let's just go on and break it on down all the way, you know, because one thing about it is like I've listened to a lot of tarot. I follow a lot of tarot readers, you know what I'm saying? And they, they cool, they down, and they are, they are who they are. But one thing about it is like I hear readings where, like where if they pick up on same sex vibes and stuff like that, then it's a lot of trash talking really with it. And one thing about it is that a straight woman is not gonna look at a same sex female relationship as a lesbian woman. Okay. So, she gonna be like, ooh, and 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 have a lot of negative to say about that. And so that's the vibe that I pick up on when I hear same-sex energy come out in a reading, oh, this, when they're talking about like gay men, even, especially when they, pick up on same-sex energy and, and the reading is all about this man being on the down low. Well, he may be a gay man in an actual gay relationship, but then there's other aspects of, this side of the spectrum of life, is that, yeah, you can have, you know, uh, people, women or men or whatever that are, um, I will dare I say, pretending to be gay, using it as a cloak, using it as a beard, using it, for something other than it being the natural, proclivity to be involved or in love with, or, in the same energy as another woman. And so I'm feeling like, okay, so I need to shift on this. Like, that green reversal came out this morning, okay, on the Uno course. So maybe I just need to go on and pull them on up and see what the energy is, because like I'm really kind of like, I'm not feeling all of this LGBT community bashing, and then I can't really take it as bashing because these people have no point of reference. If they're not part of the community, if they're not in the community, then they're going to read the energy according to their own experience. So I'm not even tripping on anybody that have had some negative, the negative energy that's to me always being put out. But every reader that I listen to, that picks up on same sex energy, then they're like, their disposition and their, it's like, your intuition may be off, but I can't even blame that on your intuition, because like I said, you're only reading it from your own experience. You're only reading it from what you know and what you think and what you feel about same-sex relationships. So that's one reason why Listen Honey Child got to be out here, as an LGBT Black lesbian reader, and I'm needing to read from that point of view, so that not only the people that resonate with that and the people that are in that collective, you know, will have someone to read for them, but also just to put my energy out there just in tarot land itself, just to let it be known, that this is what Listen Honey Child is about. Because I don't know if you know, but if you've ever, and you know what? It used to be, okay, proof comes from these seen. That's on the unseen, but that was on the bottom of my Listen Honey Child deck, because one thing about it is that it used to be in the Urban Dictionary. I don't know why it's not in there before, but the word honey child was a Southern slang word that a woman would use for her female lover. Okay. It used to be, I don't know why it's been removed from the Urban Dictionary, but even when I had found it, when I first started even Honey Child Ministries, that was one of the reasons that I picked up on the name Honey Child in the first place. But not only that, it was also something that my grandmother always said, and even everybody says it, Honey Child. I hear it all the time, and it clicked like that. But really, in the Urban Dictionary, it said that at one time this was considered a term of endearment that a Black lesbian would have for her female lover. Okay. And so that's what made it really resonate to me, on that front, but I've made these, and it's not even that my personal made deck is just geared towards, you know, um, lesbians or the LGBT community. It's not, I mean, I don't think there's one gay ass card in the deck, so it ain't even about that, but it is from that point of view. Both of the decks that I have made is from the point of view. God is a woman. That's the point of view that I have, and that's the point of view that I'm going to read for. But God is a spirit, and those that worship her must worship her in spirit and in truth. Okay, so that's more of what I'm not here to debate whether the gender association of God, okay? But at the same time, I need to let it be known, even, and the energy need to be read right, at least. And I'm not saying that this for everybody, because every reader has their own collective. So this is me building my nest. This is me building a honey child hive collective. Okay, it's those that resonate with me. And I'm not saying that you have to be in the same sex relationship or anything like that in order to resonate with me, but I'm saying that that's where my reading reading style, and I don't even, it's not even a style, but that's where my downloads come through this vessel, and this vessel is a black lesbian woman, okay, who ministers to the LGBT community at large. Okay, so it's the L, it's the G, it's the B, it's the T, it's the Q, X, Y, and Z. Okay, now see, when I hear that coming from another tarot reader, because it does not come from the same energy, it can be very offensive. Okay. And so that's one reason why Listen Honey Child is here and why it's being established. My gift, every good and perfect gift comes from above. Okay. Every good and perfect gift comes from above, and the gifts and callings of God are without repentance. Okay. And if you know, like I know, He gives us our gifts, and it doesn't matter who we are or where we came from or whatever the case may be. The gift is the gift. It's what you do with it. It's what you use. It's how you use it. And the spirit and the truth is what I'm putting down, in my readings. And so, yes, the Listen Honey Child deck is by Evangelist S.L. Stern. That's me. That's who I am. God is a woman. It's by Evangelist S.L. Stern, and I stand fully and totally and wholly in my title as an evangelist. Okay, so a woman of God. Okay, and a vessel to be used for His glory and for the dividing of the word of truth. Okay. So that's what that's the energy that I'm in, today. So I don't know, if I'm going to read, out of Listen Honey Child, out of God is a Woman, or whatever the case may be. But today, excuse me, really and truly, I kind of want to read out of my Goddess deck because that's the energy that I'm in. I'm feeling very goddessy. I'm feeling very much in my creator, my co-creator type energy and all of that kind of thing. And so that's what I want to put out here today is something. Number one, I'm just going to get the overall energy of the reading from my Goddess deck. Okay, that's where it's coming from. That's what's up. And then we'll pull the rest in. Y'all know I love the Uno cards. I received the gift of numerology from my grandmother. My grandmother was a fool with numbers. Okay, she has, I don't know how many books of just numbers and number sequences and things like that, and I'm just, and I don't know if she was running the numbers because, we had, y'all done did y'all generation. I'm 53 years old. So, I've been here for a minute. But my mother and my grandmother, they came from the days back in the day when they was running numbers, and my grandma, I don't know, they may have been a numbers runner. I ain't never just really went all down off into their history. But my grandmother was always um working out numbers and number sequences. And I don't know if she was actually trying to win the lottery or what. I'm really not sure, but I know that every now and then she played the lotto. And I know that legend has it that she actually hit the lotto at least 3 times, but she did not play the numbers. And so when she passed, my mother got all of her lotto, her books and her different number combinations and all of that kind of stuff. And she done stored them up. I don't know what, I really don't, but I know that my love of numbers, it doesn't have anything to do with mathematics, okay? Because I failed algebra miserably, okay? But I could always count. So, and I'm not even saying that I did fail like pre-algebra, and I guess I just didn't get it, I just didn't get it. But, the next year I took it again, and I went, well, actually the year after I failed algebra, I actually took informal geometry and I actually passed that with an A. Okay, now I don't know if it was maybe because I applied myself, better, or if it was just the shapes, that I was, more interested in the visual, in understanding numbers in a more visual way, and all that kind of thing. But after I, aced geometry, informal geometry, I went back to pre-algebra, and then I passed that. And then after that, I think I took like algebra one or something like that. And I passed that. And so I guess it was just an understanding that I needed to get, because I'm a very literal type of person. My gift is the more of a literary sort. I'm a reader. I read books. I read cards. I'm a reader in that. But even in that, you know, um, I mean, what's the basics? What's the basis of any education system? Reading, writing, and arithmetics, right? But I got the spiritual gift of numerology, and I know that definitely from my maternal grandmother, okay, but possibly on down the line, you know. So, black women have actually always been very gifted in numbers. There's that movie. What's that movie that Taraji Henson played in? Where they actually called those black women computers that helped to get the first man into space. They actually, that's where the term computer came from. Computer was never a actual device, that we use. A computer was a person who was good with numbers. Okay. So, you know, that was just like my little intro or whatever. And so, if you ever need to know, or if you ever need to revisit this video again, I don't know, I may explain it again in a future video if I ever need to, but that's the way that I'm going to be reading it. So when I read masculine energy, come on, sister, then it's possible that I'm talking about a stud or a masculine of center presenting woman. If I am talking about an F to M, which is a female to male trans gender, then I could be talking about that, okay, or something like that, because we do have a spectrum, okay. Or, if I pick up on energy, feminine energy, then of course I could be talking about a lipstick lesbian, or I could be talking about, a feminine gay male. Okay. I could be talking about the Queen of Pentacles, okay, and she might be a drag queen down at the, or whatever the case may be, or she may be male to female transsexual, or transgender or something like that. So, when I'm reading, that's the energy that I'm reading in. Of course, if a, straight woman or man come up, then, and if I pick up on that energy, I might preface it by saying I'm picking up on some straight ass shit. Okay. So it's just what that is, y'all. It's just what that is. I gotta be real. I gotta keep it real. And that's the thing about it. And I feel so much more comfortable now that I have decided to just hell come out. Hello, come out and say what it is going forward so that we can have an understanding. And so, because for me, that feels like I feel, electrified in that I'm putting putting this out here for it to be known even for the other readers. And if you catch my reading and you see something going on and you might say, I know sometimes y'all do shouts out and all that kind of stuff, then shout a sister out and say, hey, if you want to read him from a, black lesbian point of view, who's intelligent, gifted, and all of this kind of stuff, got this card thing on lock and everything, be coming with the real and coming with the smoke. Hello, the energy for this reading is this right here. I'm just gonna go on and put it down. This This back and forth ass energy. Oh God. Emotionally unstable. This is what we're dealing with. We are dealing with the emotionally unstable in the LGBT Black lesbian community. Okay. This is what y'all dealing with. But also, we blue is an emotional color, and it's also a color of purity, and it's also a color of truth. Okay. Um, it is a color that has been associated with warding off evil spirits. So this is what we doing now. We fighting a spiritual battle. We're fighting a spiritual battle. Where oh, God, it is a spiritual battle. Stud famous. This is today is the second, excuse me, 216, February 16th. And it's today Thursday. So it is Thursday, and we in the community, at least in the part of the community that resonates with me, we are mourning the death of one of our stars. Her name was Stud Famous. She was a rapper. She was a battle rapper. She has some music and work, out there. Um, and just, Google her or put her name um, in YouTube, and you will find her body of work. You may find some battle raps that some rap battles that she was associated with. And I believe later on tonight, a couple of us are probably going to go live and kind of pay tribute to her, and things like that. But she unalived herself. She was dealing with you know, she was dealing with some PTSD, some trauma, depression, things like that. The last interview that I did with her, I think we did an interview on TikTok. And in that interview, I think I'm going to load it up to this page. It's on my other page if you guys want to follow High Pink Pride Media. Um, in my last interview with her, she sounded really depressed, and she was dealing with some issues. A lot of studs in the LGBT community deal, more than with, a lot of times it's not even daddy issues, it's mommy issues. 444, it's 444. Hello. We deal with mommy issues even more so than daddy issues, especially those of the masculine presenting part of the spectrum. Um, the anxiety, the depression, I don't know if, oh God, um, imagine a woman being a womanizer, being very disrespectful of other women, in that same energy, even that a man who was raised by a narcissistic mother in some sort of way. The wounding is very deep, you know. I remember in my first interview with her, she and I in Mo Focus, she indicated that she hated her mother. And a lot of you may even be dealing with that. And hate is a very strong word, and it's a very strong emotion. And I feel like that's where this blue comes out. Um, Going back in her head and forth, she moved from her hometown, which was in Vegas, over to Atlanta, and it seemed that in that way, either and I can't even say that she declined, because in the last year or so, she put out a lot of work, she put out a lot of work. But I know that she was dealing with some emotional instability. So that's the central focus here. Put this cigarette down and shuffle these goddess cards. All right. Wounded healer. All right. Oh yes, wounded healer. And I feel like that's um I feel that energy even for myself. Wounded healer, you know. There's a saying that says that hurt people, but heal people also heal people. And this is goddess Sakmet, the wounded healer, out here, you know, leading while bleeding, healing ourselves as we heal others, as we attempt to, because you can't pour good energy into people if you don't have good energy for yourself. And with every step that I know that I take as a healer, I want to reach back and bring somebody with me. I think I um, quoted or misquoted, whichever one you want to say, the part in the Bible where it says, do not, that yes, you can help your brother, you should help your brother, but do not allow yourself to be pulled into his misery. That's is my interpretation. Okay, so but don't be unless you will be overcome as well. Now y'all can take that, put it in Google, and see if there's a Bible verse that say something like that. That's about as far as I can get you with that one. But don't allow yourself to be pulled into another person's place of wounding lest you be caught up yourself. And that's what happens sometimes. We want to help other people, we want to heal other people, but if we are not ourselves at least healing, then there's nothing that we can do for that person. God tells us to, you know steer clear of that. Don't lay your hands on people, suddenly, because spirits are transferable. Spiritually transmitted demons is a real thing. And so, thank you for the goddess card. Okay. So that's the only one I'm gonna pull on that. I'm pressed for time here, but I will come back, and I'm just gonna go ahead on and see what God is a woman deck has to say about this energy. I added, if y'all can see, I don't know if you can see, these are the new cards that I added to the deck. I was inspired to, add some more messages to the deck. And well, let this be the tea. As good as it gets in the eyes of man. Hmm. As good as it gets in the eyes of man. And that's the thing about it, is if we don't live our lives through the lens of a man, okay? We don't live our lives through the lens of man. We live our lives through the eyes of God. Okay. God is our only judge. He's the only one that can judge us. And so we have to get right with God, because as it is, we will never get right with man. Okay. If it was up to man, we would all be condemned to a hot burning hell. But thank God for his grace and for his mercy, you know, that we don't live in the eyes of man, and that only God can judge us, and God judges us by what we do. Um, and what we do comes directly from what we think, and what is in our mind, and what is in our emotional house. And sometimes we can go back and forth with that. You know, sometimes we can be emotionally unstable, and that just runs throughout, humanity anyway, you know, whenever there is healing and wounding, you know. But thank God for truth, because regardless of who or what you are, there is a spirit of truth and there is a spirit of error. And yes, sometimes we go back and forth with that as well. All right. So I'm gonna let this reading be just this. Okay. Um, and I will come back if the Lord says the same, but I appreciate the audience. And let me just plug myself. If you found this reading in any way interesting or helpful, then be sure to visit my website, www.listenhoneychild.com. You can follow me on TikTok at Listen Honey Child, and of course, become a subscriber to this channel, my YouTube channel, Listen Honey Child by the same name. And I hope to see you guys on the other side. Talk to you soon.